Hi, this is Tara Hagan with State Treasurer's Office.
Good morning, Tara.
Morning.
Dennis Perea, Deputy Director at Dieter, is on.
Good morning, Dennis.
Rosalie Bordelab with the Attorney General's Office.
Good morning, Rosalie.
Good morning. I would like to call today's meeting for July 14th, 2020, 10 a.m. of the State of Nevada Board of Examiners to order. Could I ask the clerk to take the roll, please?
Good morning. Governor Sisolak.
Here.
Secretary of State Sagaski.
I'm here.
Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Let the record reflect we do have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, public comment. Do we have a call-in line, or are they written public comment if there are any?
We do have a call-in line, but we did not have anyone.
Do we have anybody on the phone for public comment? Do we have any written public comment to be entered in the record? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the June 9th, 2020 minutes. Do we have a motion regarding the minutes?
So moved, Mr. Governor.
Thank you. We have a motion for approval. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 3. Moving on to item number 4, authorization to contract with a current and or former state employee. My understanding is we are pulling one of these items.
Good morning. Under item 4, we have two requests here to contract with current and or former state employees. The first item is being withdrawn. That will be put forward to a future Board of Examiners meeting. The second item is for the Department of Administration Purchasing Division to contract with a former employee under NRS 333.705 subsection 1. This person will conduct hearings related to unemployment benefits, and they will be employed by Manpower through MSA 18404. Are there any questions on this item?
I think you both understand the urgency of getting more people handling unemployment claims. So anything we can do to get more folks in there is greatly appreciated. And we're gonna just, number one has been delayed, the one for, the second one is, for Dieter is being moved forward. Do we have any discussion on that motion, on this item? Do we have a motion?
So moved. Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item. Request for designation of bad debts.
This item has been withdrawn for requests for additional information and will be put forward when we have the information that's been requested.
Thank you. Item number 6, approval of proposed leases. We have, let's see how many, 7.
We have 7 leases under agenda item 6 today. Under agenda item 6 today for approval by the board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
No, I appreciate you answered all my questions at my briefing. Do we have any questions on item number 6? Do we have a motion?
None here. Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 7, approval of proposed contracts.
There are 25 contracts in agenda item 7 for approval by the board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do have questions on this one. Who do we have from the treasurer's office? Is Mr. Conine with us? Do we have anybody from the treasurer's office?
I heard someone sign in.
Yes, Governor, this is Tara Hagan, Chief Deputy with the Treasurer's Office.
Okay, Tara, I've got questions on 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is, I don't know, a little over $2 million of consulting contracts. Are these all new? Were these RFP'd? Are these services that your office can't provide without these consultants?
Yes, so let me start with the first one, which is FHN Financial. And that is a manager that we utilize to manage the local government investment pool. And so with that manager has been with us almost, I think this is the second time. Sorry, let me pull up. But yes, I think with these contracts, there's fees, obviously, that the state, that we receive from these, and those are passed through to local governments. And we have seen the expertise with FHN Financial increase that rate of return or yield for local governments fairly substantially through FHN. And a lot of that is through some additional investments in credit or corporate securities, which, candidly, we don't have the back office expertise to really ensure that when we look at those corporate securities that, we have the most up-to-date information, we have all those sort of tools and resources that a manager can utilize. And as I've indicated, we have seen improved performance, which means increased yield or interest distribution to local governments since we've contracted with FHN Financial.
Okay, my concern is that my understanding is under NRS, you are greatly limited as to the vehicles you can invest this money in. Am I correct?
You are correct, Governor, in terms of, credit securities at a certain at A or better, and then treasuries, agencies. But it really is the expertise in the credit securities that our, small investment team and resources are really lacking. As you can imagine, when you look at credit securities today, a lot of those larger A-plus corporations do have a lot of debt on the books. And so just ensuring that you have the most up-to-date information and know whether to buy those securities, maintain those securities, and that's really the expertise that our investment team, our small shop of 4 people, is really missing for that.
And Governor, this is Zach Conine. If I can answer any questions, I'm here as well. Sorry, we've got a board of IFC meeting happening at the same time.
Yeah, no, the concern is, Zach, that we're looking at $500,000 a year. And my understanding is I know you invest a lot in treasuries and tips and very highly secured vehicles. And while it's a pass-through, I get that, that's just taking money from the local jurisdictions where I worked for a long time, and I know that there was always a complaint about the amount of money that's spent managing these funds. I just don't know why you couldn't hire somebody or two at $500,000 a year you're spending on outside consultants, which is, they're all out-of-town firms.
Yeah, and so to speak to that a little bit, on the LGIP side specifically, in fiscal year 20, we spent about $155,000 on outside firms, plus the state made about $39,000. And that was to manage about $1.8 billion and return about $28 million in returns. So from a cost to result standpoint, we feel pretty good about it. I think at some point we would love to pull LGIP back in-house and look at managing it internally. But frankly, so the staff does not have the capacity to manage the type of corporate investments we need to look at in order to get this kind of yield for the local communities at this point.
Are these RFP'd, or do you have a list you work off of, or how are these selected?
So the FHN, which is the LGIP, was the LGIP. We did a full RFP process through purchasing, went through a number of teams. Tara probably has a number on how many, but north of 10, to look at historical results, types of reporting they provided, experience working in local governments, et cetera.
Okay, what about the other three?
The other three were also through an RFP process. Invest, of course, is at the discretion of the local communities who choose to join into the program. So that's basically us vetting potential options for them to invest in. And worth mentioning that with Invest, it is the decision, just like LGIP, but instead of being pooled, it's an individual relationship that the Treasurer's Office simply helps facilitate with those local governments. And so there is mechanically no way that those fees would be, that all three of those fees would be paid in their entirety. That's based on if all of the assets moved in to each account, which is, it can't be each of them, right? It's a triple counted number.
So it's a combination of an RFP and relationships?
No, it's an RFP with the historical knowledge of having worked with FHN since 2015 or so. But full RFP, we had companies from all over the country come in, big, small, and otherwise. FHN won both on their experience, on their very low fee count, and their relationships with the individual counties. So with LGIP, the state has an active role, but in some ways it's hands-off. FHN handles all of the, or a vast portion of the client management pieces, so they're answering questions from different counties who are a party to it, which saves us a lot of time and effort as well.
Okay, and I'm fine with it, but I will, once I get a few minutes, I'll go offline with you as it relates to these selections and get a better understanding, I hope. So that's what I'll...
Very much look forward to it, sir. You know I love talking about investments.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions on this item, item number 7, approval of proposed contracts? Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval on item number 7. Any discussion? Hearing seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 8, approval of work plan.
There is one work plan under agenda item 8 for approval by this board this morning. Are there any questions on this item?
I do not. I did have an extensive question on this, but I guess Colorado's here. I know that the blind community...
Governor, that's on the next agenda.
Oh, next one. I'm sorry. Then I don't have one on this one. Do we have any questions on item number 8? Do I have a motion on item number 8?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Do we get you in there, Secretary? I think I heard Secretary Sagaski vote aye. So
Just momentarily, let me get her back on the line. Hold on just a moment.
I don't know if we're going to get the secretary back. I'm pretty sure I heard her vote aye. Let's mark her as an aye, and if that has to change, we'll come back to you, okay? On that item, item number 8. Moving on to item number 9. If we get Secretary Sagassi, could you please speak up? Okay, item 9.
There are 4 master service agreements under agenda item 9 for approval by the board this morning, and there's a question on the Colorado Center for the Blind, and I believe they are available.
There is. Do I have anybody from the Nevada secretary?
Yes, I'm back on. I apologize. I was disconnected. So.
I thought I heard you vote aye on number 8. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, so we're 3 ayes on that one. On item number 9, the Colorado Center for the Blind is the $300,000 contract, and while I am supportive of a contract and being able to assist this demographic, I'm not totally understanding why the Nevada Center for the Blind can't handle this. So do we have somebody from the Nevada Center on the phone?
Governor, this is Shelley Hendren. I'm the administrator for Dieter's Rehabilitation Division with oversight of services to the blind.
Okay. Shelley, are these services not performed by Nevada?
That's correct. This program is very unique. It's an immersive, comprehensive program of instruction that has a residential component, and we do not have anything comparable in the state of Nevada, unfortunately.
Okay, I just hate to keep sending all of this out of state, you know, if we have other one, but if we don't have another option, we don't have a choice. Do I have any discussion? Did I have a comment?
I'm sorry, Governor. Shelley Hendren. Yes, I just wanted to let you know we are talking to Blind Connect, which is there in Las Vegas, and we hope to have a program. It won't be the same because it's not as immersive, but we'll have a residential component, and we're looking at this calendar year 22. So certainly we're trying to deliver as many services within Nevada as we can, but this program in Colorado is very unique to individuals who are losing their sight or are newly blind and need to learn independent living in order to move on to employment.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, that explanation. Hopefully Nevada will be able to provide the same type of a service in state in the future, and then we could adjust this. So does anyone have a question on any of these other items? Do I have a motion on the other items?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 10, information item, clerk of the board contracts.
There were 58 contracts under the $50,000 threshold that were approved by the clerk between May 19th, 2020 and June 22nd, 2020. There has not been any additional information requested on these items by the members that I am aware of.
No, the information that I asked for, I've gotten all of mine. Did anybody have any questions on any of these? We had one question as it relates to item number 55. I had McDonald Carano. Are they currently involved in any litigation with the state? Do you know?
This is Rachel Anderson from the Office of the Attorney General. We have asked them to provide this information, and they are doing a review of their office, not only of anything current, but also checking to see if they have anything prospective, but we do not have the information in hand yet. And in part, that is due to the fact that their computer system does not collect the prospective ones, so they had to contact all of their attorneys to ensure that they give us full information. And as soon as we have that in hand, we will provide that to your office.
The problem I've got is that would be subsequent to the approval of the contract.
Yeah, Ms. Governor, this is Aaron Ford. Let me be clear. I know of at least one action in which an attorney at McDonald Carano is representing entities against the state.
Okay.
If that's your question.
I can't.
That said,
that's my question. Yeah.
Okay. That said, Mr. Governor, there is no conflict per se from a legal perspective. We do screen and check for that to ensure that there's no ethical conflict or legal conflict that we need to be concerned about. But there is at least that one particular action And just so you know, that may be the case with several of the vendors that we utilize outside. There are legal parameters that attorneys can engage in or can abide by in order to allow that to take place. I just wanted to mention that out loud to the pursuant to your question, then.
Is there time sensitivity to this one?
This contract has
Ms.
already been
Anderson?
approved.
It's what?
It's already been approved. This is an information item.
It's just information? Wow, okay. If I can get more feedback on this one, I know they're one of the more powerful, large law lobbying firms in the state, and, okay, we'll work on this one offline too, okay? And it's under $50,000. They come right under the threshold, so they don't need approval, which always raises my specter when these outside contractors do that.
Well, Mr. Governor, if I could, just to alert you to a future contract coming down the pike, is that we are also utilizing Donna Carano in other matters where they're representing the state employees in matters where my office is conflicted out. And those are substantially more than the $48,000, I think this one, or $46,800 that this is requesting. So you will see additional contracting coming forward reflecting that, just for your information.
Okay, I will get with my legal folks and determine how we can move forward on that. It just raises my specter when they're suing you with one hand and we're paying them with the other hand to sue somebody else, so. Okay, that was for information. Do we have any further questions on item number 10? Okay, item number 11 is the second time set aside for public comment. Do we have any public comment on the phone? There's none in person. I can see in Las Vegas or in Carson. Or do we have any written public comment?
We do not have any written public comment.
We do not. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
We have motion to adjourn. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye.